G'day everyone. I've got to say thank you to all the support from all the guys over there, you guys in the States that is, and Canada. Thanks for the support for what's going on over here. Me and the guys up in Brazil and elsewhere around Australia, we're doing it pretty okay. What's happening down south is where the real crimes are happening and where the real fight is at this point in time. Although it's going to creep all around here, no worries at all, don't worry about that. I haven't done a whole heap of my usual sort of content this week. I've been mainly getting a bit involved, watching what's going on down south, reading a lot of the comments, making my own comments, seeing that there's a lot of good frustrated people fighting the fight, and it's a massive Mount Everest to climb battle. It's going to be really tough, and people are really starting to suffer now. I'm going to post a link in here before from a video I just watched before, and it's of basically all the healthcare workers. There could be other workers as well, but most of them that I seen were healthcare workers, ambulance drivers, nurses, midwives, etc. And they've been let go, or they've been told it's mandatory vaccine or you're gone. And these guys are holding up. Most of them are covering their faces with a bit of cardboard, and they write small little stories on how many years they've been in the service, looking after everybody else's health. And now they have no choice in the matter. It's get vaccinated or fuck off. You're not allowed in the shops. That's starting to come in now. We've seen Best and Less is a shop down in Sydney. I don't know if they're the first, but it's the first that I've seen advertising no double vaccine, no entry. You got to show it on your phone. So we definitely shouldn't be. We can't take this line down. And I can't believe, I've got a sister, she's a midwife, she's absolutely in the head. She's hook, line and sinker, 100% government, all 100% government. She's all for it. If you don't get it, you're the worst in the world. Basically told me and my missus that we don't have it, we can't see her kids. Well, unfortunately, if that's how you want to be, well, fuck you. I'm not going to see your kids, and this is what it's doing. It's dividing families, it's dividing people, it's dividing our whole fucking country. It's ridiculous, and it's like these fucking retards that get this vaccine. It does something to their brain, and they think they're high and mighty, and oh, you're down there, you're that scum. Well, actually, no. We're not the scum. We're the ones who use our brains, and we're the free thinkers. We're not mindless sheep that run off and get dragged around and led to the slaughter, because this isn't going to end here. And there's all this talk of the new normal. Fuck the new normal. There is no new normal. That's unnormal. How can it be new normal when it's fucking not normal? It's retarded. So yeah, there seems to be a decent amount of support, but I'm watching videos of, there was one girl, I subscribed to her this morning, or it might have been last night, and she went down to the Queensland New South Wales border, took food packages or food down to give to the truckies and everybody else who were going to do a blockade of the border. So she thought. She gets there and there's no one there. There's just cops and army there. And then she's driving back home, pulls over on the side of the road or whatever, and does a video, and she's like in tears, feeling that she's been let down. You have been let down, love, and we're all let down. What can I say? This is not a nation of fighters anymore. This is a nation of like completely brain dead. Whether you, and to me, this has got nothing to do with the vaccine. This has got nothing to do with COVID, whether you want the vaccine or whether you don't. It's 100% about our rights to choose what we want to do. And the sheep are proving that they got no brain. They just, whatever mainstream media belts out, they just go along with it. And then, you know, you got another crowd that, oh, you can't do anything about it, just join them. Well, sorry, I've got a strong interest in history, and you look throughout history what's happened. America dealt with a very similar problem 160 years ago when they were getting told what to do. The Southerners were being told what to do by these rich bastards up north, industrialists, and they basically said no. The average farm guy, it wasn't because of slavery. If you ask anybody about the American Civil War, they'll just, oh, that was about slavery. They got fucking no idea. They're fucking retarded. Same thing's going on here. This isn't about you're going to die from catching COVID, because we're clearly not dying. You know, people aren't dying by the hundreds of millions around the world. Sure, there's potentially something going on. I don't know what it is. There could be COVID. It could be just the normal flu. We don't bloody know. But people were dying before. More people were dying of the normal flus every single year than what's happening now. They never closed nothing down. There was never masks, and you were actually an arsehole if you didn't come to work. You know, that's what they thought. You know, I haven't been sick for 3 or 4 years, and I've never had the flu jabs. I've just always eaten a lot of food. That's why I'm a fat bastard, because I used to train and work really hard, so I got away with eating heaps of food. But heaps of food, lots of different nutrients from the full spectrum of all the different colours, and as long as you're fairly healthy, I think you should be. I've always been fine. The proof's in the pudding. I hardly ever get sick. All of my employment history, how many sick days do I have? Almost zero. You know, I think I worked at one place for 9 years, and I might have had 2 days off, and one was because I got shit in my eye, not because I was sick. And the sickest that I ever have been, I was working at that place, and me and my good mate, we worked for 4 days, and as a reward for turning up to work extremely sick, he allowed us to go home. So, you know, I'm definitely not a pussy when it comes to getting sick. So, of course, I'm a little bit more, I'm not afraid of this, and I understand there's other people that, for whatever reason, are more susceptible to getting colds, or you could just be unhealthy, you know. You might be, there's skinny fat, you know, there's skinny people that are terribly unhealthy. So don't let how you look in the mirror be the judge of your health. Anyway, so I'll stop talking about that shit right now, because I'm going to have to do 100 million more videos about this fight that we're in now, and it is worldwide. So I'm going to change tack, and I just went to the shops before, and I got some stationary products to try. And what I'm going to do is, because we're in because we're living in Nazi Germany, and we're not allowed to defend ourselves, and we're not allowed to carry, even though these things and these things and that does pretty good. You know, I like to have other tools in my arsenal. So, yeah, one of the things that we can sort of carry around, and I'm not joking, is we can carry a pen on us, and there's probably a good chance that we're not going to be charged for carrying a pen, but we would be charged for using a pen in a self-defensive scenario. Even if the other perpetrator was armed and attacked us, we're still going to be charged. But if you're going to have nothing, why not have something? Okay, so what I've done is I got a couple of pens, and just to try out, I'm going to try it out on my little sugarcane mulch bale. But I'll put a little bit of thought into it. You can get good ones, obviously. There's calligraphy pens, and they look interesting, but they're very expensive. And then there was other sort of, like, I'm liking the clicking type ones. There was solid stainless steel ones, but you know, you're starting to look at around beginning prices of $30, and then heading skywards from there. So just like my little EDC knives, I don't want to throw good money into something that someone might borrow and piss off with it, never see it again, or people don't respect your tool and just treat it as a pen, a disposable item, or you just don't want to lose it. So I had a good look for about 20 minutes in the shop. I went to a stationery supply shop and had a look at a couple of points. This one here is just a disposable one. I'm sure it's going to work absolutely fine, and in the end this could be a really good option. The only problem is this doesn't have any sort of pockety clip. The pocket clip's built into the cap and the protective cap, you know. So obviously I don't have a pocket on here, but you know, my thoughts is to have it there. And if there's a defensive scenario that you might be in, you know, it could be a Perry or a Perry, you know, Perry sort of thing. So, or it could be in any pocket. But I want to eliminate, just like anything, it's all practicing your draw. And if you've got a cap that you've got to pull up, remove the cap, there's extra things that you don't want to worry about. You just want to pull it out, bang. Okay, so I've gone for these more clicker style. This one's like one of those lead pencil-y things. I think you know what I'm talking about. Oh no, they used to be called Pacers back in the day. That's what I know them as. And you click on here, and the lead keeps coming out with each click. Now, there is a reason, a story why I got these, because I've had an experience with these. I stood on one of these pacer leads when I was still in primary school, and I was on one of those free dress days. I wore thongs, and I stood on one of these things, and it was hanging out of my foot about half an inch, and I pulled it out. Anyway, I was playing cricket the next day, and I was chasing a ball, and then I just started hopping and had this massive pain in my foot. Anyway, I limped off the field. My coach and some of the mothers came over to me, and they took my shoe off because it was really hurting. And my coach pulled out about 1.5 inches of pacer lead out of my foot. So my thoughts with this is, if you do have time to preempt, you know, this is something that you could bang, snap off, and it's something that's in there, and they'll be walking away and still remembering you, or remembering what they done to you. So, and then also, not only that, because it's got quite a fine little point there, and it's reinforced. It's narrow in the front here compared to some of the others, so there's a good chance that should give you a decent bit of penetration, and no abrupt fat shaft as well. Some of the other pens they get a bit fat around this area here where your fingers are going to go for, obviously, for comfort and comfort of writing, where this tends to stay, you know, nice and tapered and should like slide in quite well. So we'll test these out on that. But that's a $10 item, and it is a lead pencil. It's not a pen, but it feels quite solid. I don't know whether that's made of aluminium or aluminum for you guys, and it's just coated, but it's actually quite strong. I really like this. Like I said, that's just your disposable Bic pen that you can buy in bulk packs. They're really cheap, which that'll definitely work, but it has got one of those caps. So I've got two others here. This is Papermate brand. It's got a steel reinforced nose. It is a quite comfy pen. I've used these pens before. I actually like them. They write really nice. They do have a pretty soft sort of rubbery texture. It's like a hard rubber, but I think that would only stand up to a few good strikes. But you know, potentially though, this is something that could, with a nice sort of twist motion, you could leave that inside someone. I'd say it would disattach from the shaft. And then I just got another one which was a bulk buy, but you can start to see this one's got a bit of a bulbous thing happening around here. This was cheap. I didn't like the shininess. I don't want to advertise that I've got something there. I'd prefer the blacked out version myself. But yeah, they're all the clicker, because all the clicker ones tend to have the pocket clip on them. So anyway, smashing these into that potentially may render them useless, but I will pull them apart and give them a clean and see how we go. So these are my disposable ones here. This is like a $3.50, $4 item. This one here is a 4-pack that was $5. These ones here, I think it's about $5 or $6, and you get a bunch of them, might be 10, 15. And then the lead pencil one, that's a $10 item. But anyway, let's have a little go. First of all, I'll just do like I will click it out so the pen part is out, and I'll just do like a light little plunge first. Paper mate, disposable bic. Okay, so they all went in nice and easy, and if any of you watched my other video where I had the knives, these are actually penetrating better than some of the knives. They're going as deep as my thumb, or as deep as I'm holding it, and my fingers are stopping it from going any deeper, so you actually don't even need to put much effort into it. So that was the depth that they were going in with pretty much not much effort at all. So obviously, any decent strike, they're going straight in. And I have had a little tiny bit of experience with not pens but a pencil back in high school. I had one of those village idiots in the classroom, and he just wouldn't stop harassing me. He was no violent threat or anything, but you know, just a constant barrage of harassment of just niggle, 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 niggle. Told him 100 million times just to leave me alone, leave me alone, leave me alone, shut up, shut up, shut up. And eventually I went bang and put a pencil into his leg. That annoying bastard went instantly quiet and stayed silent for the rest of the class. So some people don't respond well to verbal or to threats. So some people really do need to be shown piss off. And so everyone understands the language of violence. It doesn't matter where you come from, what the language barriers are. If they're getting in your face or they're trying to attack you, everybody understands violence. It's the universal language around the world. When you get angry and you strike back, people know when to back off. Okay, I don't even need to do any more testing. This is, if they're going to go in with no effort at all. Little bit of effort needed. It's going to do the job. But I do know that pencil that I put into old mate's leg, it bounced out of his leg, so left a little hole, but nothing too bad. But yeah, I didn't drive it in though. It was just a piss off and leave me alone. So in a real situation where you give him a good thump, yeah, you're going to end that. You're going to leave that in someone. Okay, see ya.